morning. This is Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Public Affairs analyst says there is nothing wrong with the APC chairman, Chief Tony Okocha, meeting with Governor Fubara's ally to discuss serious political matters. Daniel Momo, a public affairs analyst, while speaking on ATN program Open Conversation, urged the APC River State chairman, Sir Tony Okocha, to continue with his diplomatic system.
Let's even assume, just for the sake of this conversation, before politics, there is life.
Right.
People related. APC and PDP and others came into existence. I think that let us first appreciate ourselves as human beings before we now begin. I might disagree with you. I might hate the political party that you belong. Not be seen to say that if I associate myself with you, it then means that I am now coming to associate with the political party. No. People should be free to hold different views. People should be free to associate with whoever they want to associate themselves.
This is coming after circulating on social media, claiming that he has defected from the camp of the Minister of the Federal Republic of Territorial Nyeso Wike to align with Governor Similaye Fubara. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has dismissed speculations about his potential mental blueprints he promised during his election campaign. Edo State of Remiti, elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party on September 2, 2023, remitted the money to the leaders of PDP in 15 months. He raised the allegations while playing host to the acting chairman and councillors of the 18 locations since the incident happened. Justice K.B. Olawoyin, presiding over Court 8 of the Oyo State High Court, Ring Road, Ibadan, has fixed Tuesday, January 13, to deliver his ruling on the bail application filed by Oni of Ife's ex-queen Naomi Konola Alhaji Oromi Hamzat and Abdullahi Fasasi. Hamzat is the proprietor of Agidigbo FM and Ibadan-based radio station, while Fasasi is the principal of Islamic High School, Bashorun, Ibadan, and the suspects are currently standing trial over the stand Bashorun, Ibadan in December 2024, which claimed the lives of no fewer than 35 children. The bail applications were heard at the Oyo State High Court, Court 8, Ring Road, Ibadan, on Tuesday, and counsel for the suspect had filed a summons of applications for bail before the court. After listening to the submissions and arguments of the counsel on points of law, Justice Olawoyin adjourned ruling on the bail application till Tuesday, January 13. The state's team was led by the Attorney General and Commissioner, while all the counsels in their separate arguments told the courts why their clients should be allowed to enjoy their freedom, adding that there are no sufficient evidence before the courts to warrant the confining of precinct custody. Public policy analyst Samuel Kesey has decried the tragedy of the stampede that led to the death of 35 persons, while speaking to water down the gravity of the Oyo State stampede.
Unfair for whatever reason. For crying out loud, we are talking about children. You are not bringing in adults. I mean, for adults, it is bad enough not to talk about children. Young children, maybe people between children, you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, you're bringing them into a space and you're telling stories about it happened in Anambra, it happened in a Federal Capital Territory, nobody go to jail. Why is it Ibadan? Why won't it be Ibadan? But somebody have to break the ice on what is required, on responsibility, on how people have to own up and take responsibility for their actions. And right now, the governor is showing Nigerians that he is responsible.
This is coming after the Oyo State Omi Hamzat and others were accused of the stampede in Ibadan. Ondo State Police Command says a total of 19 people have been arrested in connection with the court clash which occurred in Owo town. In the clash, which ensued between two rival court groups in the community, while the state government imposed a dusk-to-dawn curfew on the community as part of efforts to dull the tension. The State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Wilfred Afolabi, who visited the community on Tuesday, said 19 people have been apprehended in connection with the incident, while normalcy has returned to the community. FCT administration has, to avoid damages such as vandalism of manhole covers across Abuja roads, provided to withstand heavy vehicular traffic, very crucial for the proper functioning of the city's drainage system. Engineer Richard Yunana Dauda made the call in an interview with the press after inspecting ongoing repairs on some recently vandalized manhole covers along the B6 and B12 cycle roads in the Central Business District of Abuja on 6 January 2024, promising replacement of the stolen manhole.
We keep coming back to replace them, to check vandalism, and going forward I'm sure the FCT administration will, will intervene very, very seriously in terms of checking vandalism within the city. But the minister directed, when the report got to him, that we immediately replace them. Because of the nature of our design, infrastructural design, we have them in the middle of the road. There are sewer lines and some are stormwater lines. And so replacing them, it takes time, it takes quite a deal of effort. But that is the effort we are doing in replacing them so that the road can be put to proper use again.
Engineer Dauda spoke on the security implications of the theft of public infrastructure, stating that FCT administration is working with security agencies to strengthen measures to check acts of vandalism in the state capital city, while assuring that the replacement will be completed soon.
Major attraction is the cast iron that we had before, which they come to steal. They go, they recycle it and probably put it to use for something else. So that we have thought outside the box and replace such material. In fact, some of the ones that were stolen are those material that have been made out of some sort of composite material. When you melt them, nothing much comes out of it. But they just keep doing it. Many other areas we have used other material. In fact, for gully inlets, we have even used concrete. And you still see people coming to break them. For what purpose and for what benefit, I don't know. Because when you steal infrastructure like this, it's like stealing from yourself. It's federal government resources, it's the national resource that have been used to put it in place. So when our citizens, if they are Nigerians, come to steal them again, it's like taking what already belongs to you. And so I will urge that you, particularly the press, will do a lot of more advocacy for us so that people will realize that this should not be taken. They are meant for the good and benefit of the citizens and those that use the road.
Niger Delta Police Command has arrested 3 suspected armed robbers and burglars during a raid at a hotel in Minna, the state capital. The suspects, identified as Jibrin Ndako of Berikin Saleh, Haruna Abubakar of Angwan Kamfani, and Aliyu Abdullahi of Bagungu, Minna, were apprehended by the police. The State Police Public Relations Officer SP Wasiu Abiodun said the 3 were arrested based on credible intelligence, adding that following credible information, police operatives from the Dudun Wada Division raided a hotel along Eastern Bypass, Minna, where the suspects were lodged. Abiodun disclosed this during interrogations, while Jibrin Ndako, who had recently completed a jail term for motorcycle theft, confessed that he recruited his accomplices from Agea to join him in breaking into a provision store in Barikin Sale, Minna. However, he explained that their plans were foiled by the timely intervention of the police, and the suspects have been transferred to the state police headquarters in Minna for further investigation and prosecution. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, Bauchi, has lamented the poor and unreliable electricity supply to the major health facility. The Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Yusuf Bara, said the problem is a major part of the challenges affecting the hospital's efficient service delivery. The CMD, who made this known during the end-of-year event that was organized by the hospital management to honor the exemplary contributions of its staff throughout 2024, said the occasion reflects the hospital administration's dedication to staff welfare, especially those who have shown remarkable commitment to their roles. He outlined several challenges confronting the hospital, to include the constraints in human and capital resources, energy and water shortages, and resistance to digital transformation, adding that the management is actively exploring solutions such as renewable energy sources, accelerating infrastructure projects, and expanding community outreach initiatives. Kano State the reformed gesture and promised to send a letter of appreciation to the Saudi Kingdom through its consulate in Kano. Yusuf made the remarks during an event organized by the State Pilgrims Welfare Board to refund money remitted by Saudi Arabian authorities following a power outage during the 2023 Hajj exercise, and also applauded the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria for its transparency and timely refund, while lauding the State Pilgrims Welfare Board for the successful organization of the 2024 Hajj. He encouraged the board to sustain its achievements that recently visited Saudi Arabia to perform the lesser Hajj, and preparation for the 2025 Hajj had already commenced, with efforts underway to identify areas requiring further improvements. Additionally, the Director General of the board, Laminu Dabafa, revealed that a refund totaling 375 million naira had been disbursed to pilgrims for the 2025 Hajj exercise. Kano State government has cautioned farmers to desist from selling their farmlands to foreigners and individuals with questionable identities, following reports of such activities in various local government areas, particularly Shanono. The warning was issued during an emergency stakeholders meeting at the office of the Shanono local government chairman, Alhaji Abubakar Barau, while the Commissioner for Solid Minerals and Natural Resources, Safayanu Hamza Kachako, expressed concern over the trend and announced plans to enforce stricter regulations on land use and mining activities across the state, ensuring that only formal and legal activities take place, and urged the council chairman to enact local new laws prohibiting the sale of farmlands to foreigners or unverified individuals, emphasizing Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's commitment to developing the sector for economic growth. In his remarks, the council chairman assured the stakeholders that the local government would take decisive steps to address the issue, including exploring investment opportunities in mining, and also called on the district head of Shanono, Alhaji Ibrahim Sani Gaya, to spread the message to community grassroots level. You are watching The Transition on our StarTimes television network. We return after this break. To stay with us.
lives are changed by history.
We are one people. All of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From life across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories.
Welcome back. This is Atlantic Television Network Transition. Now the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has assured the new president of Ghana, John Mahama, that his country can always count on Nigeria's support for national development. Tinubu, who declared this on Tuesday during the swearing-in ceremony of Mahama in Accra, the capital of the country, said Mahama's administration would mark the beginning of prosperity between the two nations with a sense of shared history, hope, compassion, unity, and devotion to common welfare. Tinubu, however, faulted the critics of Africa, adding that the continent's leaders should desist from pulling themselves out to the distractors. Mahama had earlier greeted Tinubu, other presidents and dignitaries who attended the ceremony in his inauguration speech and vowed to foster a working cooperation with Nigeria and other neighboring countries, constituting the economic community of West African states. Mahama won the country's presidential election after his main opponent, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, conceded defeat on December 8, 2024, which ends 2 terms in power for the governing New Patriotic Party under President Nana Akufo-Addo. Bawumia said he called Mahama of the National Democratic Congress to congratulate him, while the NDC spokesman Sami Gamfi said the party's internal review of results showed Mahama won 56.3% of the votes against 41.3% for Bawumia. Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission charged former Chief of Staff to Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai Alhaji Muhammad Bashir Saudi with money laundering before the Federal High Court in the state. According to the charge sheet, Saudi, who also served as Commissioner of Finance in Kaduna State, allegedly accepted a cash payment of 155 million naira from one Ibrahim Mukhtar, a public officer in the Ministry of Finance, exceeding the amount authorized by law. The ICPC alleged that the transaction took place in March 2022 and that Saudi received the cash through his special assistant Muazza Abdu. And the charge, which was signed by the Assistant Chief Legal Officer of ICPC, Dr. Osuobene Eko Michigan, was filed on Tuesday, January 7, 2025, at the Federal High Court in Kaduna. Saudi was being investigated for allegedly laundering 3.9 and misappropriating 244 million naira during his tenure in the Kaduna State government. The Kaduna State House of Assembly had also indicted El-Rufai's government for allegedly siphoning state government funds to the tune of 423 billion naira. Retired military personnel have begun receiving credit alerts for the full payment of their long overdue entitlements, and many others have started leaving the protest sites and dismantling the canopies and chairs they had set up to block the entrance of the Ministry of Finance headquarters in Abuja. This is coming after the retirees had barricaded the entrance to the Ministry of Finance in Abuja as early as 7 a.m. using canopies and chairs to demand the full payment of the entitlements, and their actions prevented staff members from driving into the premises, forcing many to park their vehicles outside. The protest followed a similar action in December, during which the retirees showed the government's failure to settle their claims, adding that for months the retirees were told that there were no funds to clear their entitlements despite official approval for the payments. They all are owed a 20% to 28% salary increment in December 2024. The retirees also demanded payments for other outstanding benefits, including palliatives for the period between October 2023 and November 2020, an additional 32,000 naira added to their pensions, a bulk payment of the security department's allowances, and a refund of pension deductions from the salaries of medically boarded soldiers. In response to their December protest, the federal government paid 50% of the owned entitlement and promised to settle the balance, and the retirees claimed the government failed to fulfill this promise, prompting the resumption of their protest on Tuesday. Efforts by a team of police officers from the Federal Capital Territory, all the security agencies, and senior ministry staffs to persuade the retirees to call off the protest were unsuccessful. The protesters insisted they would only leave upon receiving credit alerts for their entitlements. Shortly before the protest began, protesters began receiving their alerts. The chairman of the Military Pension Board, Air Vice Marshal Paul Irumheson, addressed. And now to some other business reports. Disengaged staff members of the Central Bank of Nigeria who were laid off in a mass termination last year have taken the Apex Bank before the National Industrial Court of Nigeria in Abuja. In an all-originating summons filed on July 4, 2024 under the NICN Civil Procedure Rules for 2017, the claimants, 33 in number, raised several issues for the courts to address, while the former employees asked the courts to determine whether their constitutional right to the fair hearing was violated before and after their appointments were terminated. They also called that the CBN breached internal policies, Nigerian labor laws, and their contractual rights, adding that the termination process lacked the mandatory consultation and fair hearing required by law, and described the termination letters issued under the guise of restructuring as arbitrary, illegal, and unconstitutional. They also requested a restraining order to prevent the CBN from terminating their employment without adhering to proper procedures, while the claimants demanded an immediate reinstatement of their positions with payment of salaries and benefits from the date of termination. They cited Article 16.4.1 of the Human Resources Policies and Procedures Manual, which mandates consultation with the Joint Consultative Council and adherence to fair procedures before taking employment actions that adversely affect staff, stressing that the CBN flagrantly disregarded the provision to vacate their positions and hand over official property. The group is also seeking 30 billion naira in general damages for psychological distress, hardship, and reputational harm caused by the dismissal, as well as an additional 500 million naira to cover the cost of the suits, while the CBN, represented by a legal team led by Inam Wilson San, informed the court of a preliminary objection to the claimant's suit filed on November 4, 2024. The CBN's counsel also said they had recently been served with the claimant's response to the objection, while Justice Osagwe adjourned the case to January 29, 2025 for a hearing on the preliminary objection. Still ahead, United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed is set to begin a 2-day official visit to Nigeria on Thursday. The National Information Officer, United Nations Information Center, Oluseyi Soro-Mekun, who disclosed this on Tuesday, said she will hold discussions with President Bola Tinubu, senior government officials, and the leadership of the Economic Community of West African States. The talks are expected to focus on critical issues concerning regional stability and development, and will be joined by the Secretary General's Special Representatives for West Africa and the Sahel, Leonardo Simao, and the UN Resident Coordinator in Nigeria, Mohamed Fall. As part of her agenda, she will also engage with the UN country team in Nigeria to review ongoing initiatives and explore further priorities. John Mahama has taken the oath of office as Ghana's new president in a ceremony attended by world leaders. This is coming after the former governor was declared the winner of the 2024 presidential election on December 8th after defeating his main opponent, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia. Mahama, who had previously served the country as the 12th president between 2011 and 2017, found his way back to power through re-election. The Nigerian President Bola Tinubu had on Monday departed Lagos to attend the inauguration, which took place in Accra, the capital of the Republic of Ghana. At least 95 people have been confirmed dead and 130 are injured after a major earthquake struck the mountainous Tibet region on Tuesday morning. The earthquake that hit Tibet's holy Sigat city had a magnitude of 7.1 and a depth of 10 kilometers. And according to data from the U.S. Geological Survey, which was also showed a series of aftershock in the area, tremors were also felt in neighboring Nepal and parts of India. Earthquakes are common in the region, which lies on a major geological fault line, and it is considered one of the holiest cities and also the traditional seat of the Panche Lama, a key figure of Tibetan Buddhism, whose spiritual authority is only to the Dalai Lama. The current Dalai Lama fled Tibet to India in 1959 and has since been seen as an alternative source of power for Tibetans, who sent Beijing's control of the region. While many believe China was also choosing of its own Dalai Lama when the current one dies, Tuesday's earthquake is one of the deadliest China has seen in recent years, and described the earthquake as having a slightly lesser magnitude of 6.8, causing obvious tremors and leading to the damage of more than 1,000 houses. At least 3 clubs are very near on signing Marcus Rashford from Manchester United. Rashford looks set to leave Old Trafford this year, either in January or the summer transfer window, and the 27-year-old has fallen out of favor with his new manager, Ruben Amorim, in recent weeks. Amorim has left the England forward out of his match day squads for 5 consecutive fixtures. According to football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, there are now movements around Rashford as expected. It is believed that Borussia Dortmund and AC Milan have also made enquiries about the possibility of a deal. Turkish champions